PHNX Suns post-game show. I'm Lindsay. That's all. That's Espo. And yes, tonight we did Sexy Sacks because the Phoenix Suns took care of business. They took down the Cleveland Cavaliers 122-101. Happening, you guys. It's happening.
What? What's happening?
The Suns are turning a corner. I'm bought in.
Okay.
I'm riding the high tonight. I can't help it.
You're back on the
Two in a
upswing
row?
of the
Come
roller coaster?
on.
Okay.
I got to do it. It's for the Sexy Sacks.
Yeah, here we go.
Oh, are we doing this?
No, I'm just doing it.
Come on, Saul.
Eric's doing it behind the scenes.
Come on, Saul.
I'm good. I'm comfortable. I'm grooving.
You just straight chilling?
Yep.
Well, I feel like we all kind of took a sigh of relief after that game ended and the Suns came out victorious because for a minute there, it was a little shaky.
When?
A little shaky.
When?
Third quarter.
No.
Had me stressed.
No.
I was
No.
stressed. I don't care. I was stressed.
You never had that moment where they felt out of control, where it
Yeah.
felt like they were falling into complete bad habits.
No.
It felt like runs. Cavs were going to make a run.
Mhm.
Suns withstood it both times that you saw a run, both in the third and the fourth. These last two games are probably the best I've felt in those situations because
I mean,
it
that's
didn't
fair.
break down at any given point the way it had severely in those other games that they had those major malfunctions.
It's got to be the best two-game stretch in terms of control that they've had this season. I honestly, really halfway through the first quarter, it just felt like the Suns were in control, and they didn't really let up at all. Had a double-digit lead going into the second, going into the third, and going into the fourth, and they didn't really let up. Teams are going to make runs. You just know that they're going to make a run, but can you withstand the run, and then can you answer back at the time you have to answer back? And Kevin Durant was really crucial in those moments. Devin Booker was grooving all game. They both were playing at a high level. Only the second time, as you said earlier, that both have scored over 30 points in the same game.
Which is insane.
It is kind of insane.
Absolutely
this
insane.
year, right? Like
This year.
Yes.
This is the equation. We saw it work last year. I think they were too concerned about trying to get Brad Beal involved in the offense and trying to get him, 18, 20 and all these things. But the equation that worked last year until the Nuggets made it very clear they had no bench, the Suns, was let Devin Booker be Devin Booker. Let Kevin Durant be efficient. Let those two guys be the offensive catalysts. But this year what you got is guys like Grayson Allen when he's out there or Royce O'Neale when he steps in from time to time who can hit those open threes that you didn't really have last year. You got a center that does the little things. Maybe he only has 2 points, but he's efficient on the boards. He gets some nice dimes. And then Bradley Beal can be that, that Chris Paul light that, play that role in ways. Not as effective necessarily in terms of passing at times, but the one thing you're missing is Bradley Beal having a killer instinct at certain moments when he can attack, right? But to me, letting Devin Booker be Devin Booker is something that should have been done this whole year, and putting Bradley Beal when he was out there, when he wasn't injured, as the primary ball handler. It just makes a lot of sense to let Devin Booker do what he does best.
I understand, though, why they would turn to Book to be point Book in this situation, even with Bradley Beal on the squad.
At the beginning of the season, I did.
And Brad was,
for sure.
for one, he was injured.
Yeah.
So you kind of had to turn to him. But even if he wasn't injured, I get why you would experiment with him being your primary ball handler.
Yeah, because he's shown that he has the propensity to be able to do it.
Yes.
But when you weren't getting the efficiency from everybody else, you had to start tinkering with what was going on. And that's what the Suns did. And I'll give them credit for adjusting a little bit. And when Bradley Beal started to feel like Bradley Beal again, you could see probably about 15 games ago, they started to maneuver in this direction. And he started handling the ball a lot more. And it's paid off. Now, my whole thing, again, we said this in the pregame, I said this in the entire watch along, like, I still don't like what Bradley Beal is doing completely. I don't like that he's being so passive. I don't like that he's passing up open shots. He's still got to play at a higher level. I think you're not asking for him to drop 25 or 30 a game, not in this role, but you still got to give me 15 to 20, and you still got to give me, somewhere between 5 to 8 assists, right? Like, that's what I need to see from Bradley Beal. But he has been doing everything else very solid.
Gerald mentioned last night, and we've talked about this before multiple times on this show, that Bradley Beal is the guy who had to adjust the most with this squad. He's been asked to change basically what he brings to the team the most. And because it's only been a handful plus of games, or I guess a dozen or so games of him being the primary ball handler, it's going to take some time for him to find the perfect balance there, where his primary focus right now, just understanding where his teammates are going to be, where he needs to get the ball, that kind of stuff, before he worries about getting his in terms of points. Because you have KD and Book combining for 72 points tonight. You don't necessarily need 15 to 20.
I'm not talking about anything in depth more than like when the ball swings and he catches the ball and he's got the mismatch, taking advantage of those mismatches, right? There was a time where he made a nice move against Jared Allen in the key at basically the free throw line. Jared Allen dropped back like 5 feet. He had a wide open jumper, and then he jumped, and then he jumped past it to the corner. And I was like, that's not the right play. You have the higher percentage shot. You got to take that shot. Like the smart basketball play. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about, trying to figure out where your teammates are at. I understand if like somebody makes a backdoor cut and you throw it the wrong way because you're just not used to them. That's fine. I'm cool with that. But what I'm talking about is you just got to take advantage of those opportunities when the defense does give you the opportunity to score. You got to take advantage of that. And that's what's going to take this team from a good team to a great team, in my estimation.
Yeah, I mean, I agree that he needs to take more of those shots that feel open. But what I want to see is that aggressive Brad Beal that was going to the hoop with some authority earlier in the year. If you get that guy, like that is at key moments attacking the heart of that defense, throwing it down, getting a good layup, like those are momentum changers, right? And I feel like he could be the guy that at times provides the haymaker. You got Book and you got KD doing their thing, and then all of a sudden Bradley Beal goes down the lane and just rips your heart out, right? That's where I want to see him come into play, is being that aggressive guy that has been part of his calling card throughout his career, and finding that. And maybe that does take a little time because they're just starting to feel like they're getting KD and Book in a rhythm at the same time. So maybe it does take a little while for Bradley Beal to figure out what those moments are. But you can afford him to only have 7 in a game where you have the 40 from Book, 32 from KD, and you're okay. It's where if KD or Book doesn't have that kind of night, how does Bradley Beal react, and how does he take over moments in the offense?
Again, we're definitely nitpicking at what this was. Right. But I think overall, for the greater good, I thought the Suns played one of their better games of the season. They controlled the game on both ends. They forced the Cavs to utilize players that they don't want to utilize as much as they utilized them tonight. Going to Jared Allen as consistently as they had to, because they were basically playing up on the 3-point shot. That's playing right into the Suns' hands, and they were able to get out and run, get some easy opportunities. They were able to execute in their half court. Like, they played at a high level. They were fantastic. The rotations were much better tonight. And more than anything, they played with effort and purpose. And that's the thing that we always talk about with this team is, do you look like you care out there? Do you look like you want to be out there and play at a high level? Tonight, they certainly did.
Yeah. So the chat is asking if Bradley Beal's finger is still bothering him or still a little hurt. I texted Gerald and I said, you guys are asking. So hopefully he'll come with an update if he's able to talk with Brad at all.
I mean, that could be part of why he hasn't had the touch either. Only 3 of 9 from the field tonight. If that is still bothering him, maybe that answers why maybe he's a little less aggressive.
Yeah.
But you've also seen 2 of the better games that this team's had the last 2 games as well. So maybe you're learning a little something from that. So I don't know. I'm becoming more and more cautiously optimistic, after this, because, Flex will sit here and tell us there's a switch to be flipped, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. The last 2 games, they felt like a different team, right? And,
It has.
And it's not against the Sisters of the Poor here. This is 2 teams that are very much in the mix in both their conferences, in the Pelicans and the Cavs. So maybe we can feel a little bit optimistic.
You mean we can buy in a little bit?
I'm not saying
We can
fully
get
buy
excited?
in, but I'm saying maybe have some acceptance of that maybe there is a little bit of a window cracking open.
I think that the biggest switch that was flipped was the fact that Flex isn't here.
Oh, you're gonna throw shade at Flex that
he texted
much?
me and said, I'm staying in New Jersey.
Oh, no.
And I said, can you go further east? I hear the UK is nice.
Because I
Oh,
did
no.
text our group chat and say that it was probably we won the other night because Flex and I were both gone, but I came back and we still won. So sorry, Flex, you're just gonna have to stay away until
Well,
we lose
I
again.
guess we'll find out on Friday.
If we lose on Friday, everybody's gonna boo Flex.
Oh no, this could be really bad because we're all going to be in person too.
Yeah.
Out at Gila River Resorts and
Bring your
Casinos Wild Horse
tomatoes.
Pass. If you guys want to come and we lose, you can yell at Flex and blame him in real life.
Yeah.
But you better be nice.
I'm
You
so
better be
excited
nice.
for it. We were out there and we got a sneak preview of how this whole collection by Mike Bibby is going to look. It's going to be a hell of a time.
Yeah.
We'll show
we're
you
gonna-
guys in a second.
We're going to be out there twice this weekend. It's going to be an absolute blast. Friday night, we're going to be out there for our watch party. And then Sunday afternoon, we'll be out there for our watch party as well. We're going to watch the Suns play games. We're going to hang out together, enjoy food and beverage. And of course, the cool
Yeah.
from top to bottom. I mean, we've already told you 100 times how cool
They
Gila River
revamped
Resorts
they
and
revamped
Casinos
the
are.
entire space. It's the collection by Mike Bibby. You'll see all his shoes. You'll see a whole bunch of collective shoes from a bunch of sneakerheads. It's a really, really dope look. It's really cool. They customized it just for this event for the next 4 days. So it's
Yeah.
gonna be awesome.
I point blank asked, I was like, you hear these things, guys sponsor things. And I was like, are these really going to be Mike Bibby's shoes? There's going to be an entire room in one of those swing bays that are just Mike Bibby's personal collection of shoes, which is pretty cool that you're going to see that. So I'm excited to be out there. I'm going to wear my Vogel ones just to fit in.
And on Saturday, if you want to go out and watch some of the tournament, Mike Bibby will be out there, but also Royce O'Neale and Ish Wainwright will be out there at 6 o'clock
Hey.
on Saturday. So you can get out there for the second game. And about halftime, they'll be out there and they'll be, signing autographs and answering questions and talking to the group. So you can just have a great time.
Yeah, Royce will still be hitting threes too.
I know, right? I mean, shoot. All right. Well, listen, surprisingly, the Suns get W's when Flex is gone, but Flex gets W's when he's gone as well. He finally won a bet tonight, you
He
guys.
gets a W, not multiples. This is
Okay,
this
fine.
is
He got
one.
a W.
Thank
He
you.
won his bet tonight, which means he moved up a little bit as far as how down bad he was, which actually was pretty good. He was down 190 something before the game. Now he's
Yeah.
at 107, minus 107, so not too bad there. But the rest of us, we all took L's, so that means Saul is now down $11. I'm down to 74, and Espo, you're down to 513.
Oh damn.
513, that is, for everyone listening on audio, unfortunately. But if you have not signed up for the BetMGM Sportsbook app yet, you are absolutely missing out. Make sure you sign up right now and make sure you're using that promo code PHNX. When you use that promo code PHNX, you can place your first BetMGM Sportsbook wager through the BetMGM Sportsbook mobile app of at least $10, and you will receive up to $1,500 in bonus bets if that bet loses. You can check out the show notes for full details. And now you can listen to Shane talk about the disclaimer.
Bonus bets expire in 7 days. One new customer offer only. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY, 467-369 New York. Call 1-800-327-5050 Massachusetts. 21 plus only. Please gamble responsibly. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP Arizona. 1-800-BETS-OFF Iowa. 1-800-981-0023 Puerto Rico. First bet offer for new customers only. Subject to eligibility requirements. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel. See BetMGM.com for terms. U.S. promotional offers not available in New York, Nevada, North Carolina, Ontario, or Puerto Rico.
Get stuffed in a locker, Ontario. And, I guess
Hey, you got to give a little bit of a shout out to Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico, we'll give you the night off. We're not going to blame Flex for any of this. I love Puerto Rico. Flex is gambling a little less. So.
You a often frequenter of Puerto Rico?
I actually have been to Puerto Rico.
Have you really?
And
I feel like I would love it.
Beautiful
It's
place.
on one of my lists.
Yeah.
It's on my list.
It is. It's fantastic. I loved my trip to Puerto Rico and actually hope to go back there at some point. You know how I might be able to get back there?
By jumping in a plane with Flex?
Well, no. I mean, if Flex
By
will pay
getting
for
hooked
it,
up with $200 to put towards the trip.
Yeah, and
go.
our friends at Desert Financial Credit Union are happy to do that for me. If I visit desertfinancial.com/200, and they'll help me out. So for more than 84 years, Desert Financial has been Arizona's largest and most trusted local credit union, dedicated to creating exceptional experiences by giving back to the community and providing financial solutions that make lives better. We've heard a lot about finances this week. We've heard all sorts of things. The Desert Financial team are financial experts who are committed to their members and the community by offering financial solutions tailored to helping real people achieve their financial goals and dreams. They want to help you get where you want to be. And so look to Desert Financial for checking and savings accounts, mortgages, loans, credit cards, investment options, and more.
Message.
Join a credit union that is committed to giving back to the community and sharing success with its members. When you open a free checking account online, get $200 in bonuses, and you can use that to travel, to do whatever you want with. It's 200 smackaroos just for you. Get started by visiting desertfinancial.com/200.
All right, guys, let's dive into the numbers of this game presented by Desert Financial Credit Union, Arizona's #1 credit union named by Forbes.
What's in the box?
No, what's in the box is a 122-101 Suns victory. The Suns shot 18 of 33 from the three-point line to the Cavs 7 of 26, which was only 26% there. Points in the paint, Suns dominated that as well. 60 points to 44 for the Cavs. Turnovers, still high. Suns had 16, but luckily the Cavs had 15 of their own, and the Suns cleaned the glass well as they had 43 rebounds to 37 for the Cavs, and that's how you get a 122-101 victory brought to you by our friends over at Desert Financial Credit.
Solid win.
Yeah, let me say, I switched to points in the paint. Cavs actually outscored
Okay.
points in the paint. They had 60 to the Suns 44.
All right.
So,
Well,
my bad,
you know
chat.
what?
Before chat
Suns
points that out.
sucked in the paint, but they still got the victory.
Well, they sucked in the paint, but that's okay. Because what have we been talking about this whole time? Like the three-point shot. And they forced the Cavs to shoot a very low percentage from three. That's what you needed to happen. If the Suns keep that recipe up, they're going to be in a lot of these games. They're going to be very competitive. Where they've fallen apart is just falling apart on defense on that three-point line and giving guys wide open jump shots. Yeah. You did not see that as much tonight.
No.
And the Cavs came into this game 7th in the league right now in three-point makes.
Since December 12th, they were averaging 15 makes from beyond the arc. They only had 7 tonight. Like that's a huge what you were able to do. And now the Suns moved to let me find it here. They moved to an impressive 29-7 when they have more three-pointers or tie their opponent in three-pointers. So that is, I mean, it's not, we've talked about it. The maths, 3 is more than 2. When you can do that, you're sitting pretty. And I mean, for as many issues as the Suns have had, 29-7 by doing just one simple thing is pretty damn impressive. Yeah.
And at one point, like at halftime, they were shooting lights out from deep. I think it was 67 or 76%? 67%. At halftime from 3, they finished at just under 40 or 55%, but they were knocking them down left and right. Yeah. Both in the first and second quarter really good, but that second quarter specifically was insane.
Yeah, and one stat we didn't have on there, I don't believe, was the assists. Suns had 32 tonight. That means they crossed the 30 assist threshold, so they're now 21-3 when they do that, Like, so you add those two things together, and this team is one of the better in the NBA. If
What's
they
the
hit
record
those
when
two.
both of those happen?
I don't know.
I'll
look it up.
never lost.
I'll make Gerald look it up.
There you go.
Never lost. Yeah, I mean, maybe, I don't know. Sure, we'll go with that.
I mean, again, we these are the common themes with this team, and really most teams. If you share the ball and you hit your threes, you're going to win a lot of basketball games. The Suns were struggling with both at various times this season, especially the 3-point line. And I think they kind of learned their lesson a couple games ago. And so now they're trying to adjust. And you can tell because Booker is shooting more threes right now, it feels like, than on average than he has the rest of the season. So I just hope that it continues. And I think it will. I think they kind of got the message. And I think, honestly, that San Antonio game, is as stupid as this sounds, when you lose to San Antonio for the third time out of 4, I feel like they just finally realized we can't just show up.
Yeah.
Like, we can't just show up and think that we're going to be able to coast to victory. And now we've run out of our leeway. We have no more runway. We have to play hard. We have to play effective because we have nothing but big dogs coming up, and we have to take advantage of that. And so it looks like they got the message 2 games in. It looks like they got the message. We got another big game on Friday. To me, I think we match up very well against the Timberwolves. I know a lot of other people don't, but I think we're going to dog walk them. And then Sunday, we'll see what happens. Yeah.
I mean, fingers crossed. One of my
intended.
favorite things about the numbers from tonight's is when you look at the assists, they were evenly distributed between the big 3 and Nurk. So KD had 7 assists, Nurk had 6, Beal had 7, and Book had 8. And so that's everybody is helping move the ball. And I won't throw Royce O'Neale under the bus. He still had 2, but not used to playing in that starting lineup either. So you can't really expect that much from him.
And he's not the facilitator.
No, he was out there knocking down threes.
Yeah,
That's it.
He was too
Exactly.
busy making shots.
He was
to
doing
pass
what he
it,
needed
so.
to be doing in that unit.
Well, and it's second straight game that Devin Booker led all scorers and led all guys with assists as well in the game. So even though he's not the primary ball handler, he's still very much helping facilitate for this team as well.
With Devin, you can always tell if he's feeling good because he's got a little bit of a bounce to him. And, tonight you could tell right off the bat, like, oh, he was feeling good tonight, and sometimes, that happens with athletes. Like, their body just feels like it's connected, and they're just, they got this movement about them, and they know exactly what they want to do, and they got a little bit more oomph in their step. And it feels like, I saw this a lot on Twitter, I saw this in our Discord, but this felt like a Booker playoff mode game where he's just like, okay, I'm done fucking around. I kind of fucked around for the last, couple weeks. It's time to lock in. And last game proved it. This game proved it. I just don't see how the next 6 games he won't continue this mode. And same thing with KD.
Well, and I think it's a lot easier for KD too, because when Book's locked in like that again, it's the whole gravity thing. It makes it easier for KD too, and then he can lock in and be as efficient as he possibly can be as well.
Yes, and he doesn't feel like he has to be the bearer of all the weight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For a lot of this season, everything has fallen at the feet of KD multiple times.
Yeah.
So it's better when I think Book carries a majority of that and you let KD do what KD does best.
Yeah, and I wonder, I know it's wherever we are, we'll play who we play, but you gotta think that these guys realize how important that 5 days off can be if you're in the 6th seed, rather than having to deal with the play-in and the prep time that you're going to get for whoever you're playing in the first round. That's important, especially you talk about KD and all the weight he's had to carry, the amount of games and minutes. You have to get in that top 6 to give these guys a breather before you go into this gun.
Well, not only that, but also like as the 6th seed or even the 5 seed, who your opponent is right off the bat. You don't have to wait for the play-in to happen. Yep. If you're 7 or 8, then you have no idea what's going to happen. So I'm encouraged. I think the 6th spot is actually the perfect spot because I do believe Minnesota is going to end up in that 3 spot. And I think we match up very good with them. So again, we're getting ahead of ourselves, but they did do what they were supposed to do tonight. They took care of business. They got 3 more games at home. Those are all imperative that they try to get those wins before they go on the road to play LA, then Sacramento, and then Minnesota.
Well, we are getting a little ahead of ourselves, but the Suns did move into 6th in the Western Conference
There we
standings
go.
tonight with this win and the Pelicans loss. And since the Suns are the tiebreaker there, they are now in 6th place. New Orleans is in 7th. Sacramento is in 8th. And then LA 9. And LA was making some ground before the game started, but now they're game and a half back from where we sit now.
And
Which, if we had lost, they would have been half a game back.
I feel pretty good that at worst the Suns would ever drop to 9, and that's if the bottom fell out. I don't think that they're going to drop to 9. I think you're basically looking at 5, 6, 7, 8, and that's it. I don't think they'll drop to 9 or 10.
I mean, there is a crazy world where 4 comes into play if you beat the Clippers twice and they fall off.
That's very true.
You
It's
know?
very true.
Shane Young is so obsessed with the idea of this Clippers back-to-back and the 2 of them seeing each other in the first round.
Oh, God.
That would be crazy.
That's like the last
That'd be
team I
so
want to see in the
crazy.
playoffs again. It's not
Sheer
because I'm
chaos.
afraid of them. I'm tired of playing the Clippers in the playoffs. We get
Yeah.
that every year. Ugh.
Yeah. I
Well,
don't know.
it usually goes our way, though. So
That's
I'm
true.
all right with it.
But here's the thing, like you were talking about a couple more games this week. We got the Timberwolves on Friday and the Pelicans on Sunday. And those are 2 incredibly important games.
Yeah.
Again, especially the Pelicans. Like, you want to make up that ground as much as you can there, especially with the way that they've been playing and taking a few L's lately too. That's a big opportunity for them to take advantage of, and they can't miss out.
If the Suns win Friday and they beat the Pelicans on Sunday, I think it's basically a lock that the Suns will finish ahead of the Pelicans at that point, because the Pelicans will then be about 2 games back of the Suns, and the tiebreaker doesn't go in their favor. So it's really 3 games. And so if you're the Suns, you have a tremendous opportunity. And yeah, I mean, listen, Shane Young's not wrong. I mean, wouldn't it be something if we went through this whole season of ups and downs and somehow, some way, we ended up finishing 4th in the Western Conference and hosting a playoff series? I mean, it feels like that would just be fitting for how this all season has just been a confusing mess.
I mean, yes, you're not wrong. It would be absolutely insane. All right, you guys want to hand up some flowers? I feel like we got a lot of flowers to give out in this
Sure.
one. We'll start with our big, bright, shiny star.
I'm a big, bright, shining star.
Guess what? It's 2 of them tonight.
The Evans.
Devin and Kevin combined for 72 points, 15 assists, 8 of 16 from deep. We couldn't just pick one of them tonight because I feel like both of them were pretty consistent throughout this entire game. I mean, you look at KD, I think it was like 8, 7, 8, 9, how many points he contributed in each quarter, something close to that. Pretty solid throughout the entire game. Same with Book as well. Like, we just had to give it to both of them.
Yeah, both shot effectively. It was just great game from both of them. So
Yeah, and another thing from Shane Young that he sent out was most 40. Oh, this one's just for Devin, not Kevin, but most 40-plus point games in a season in Phoenix Suns history. Devin Booker was 7 this year. Devin Booker was 7 last year, and Tom Chambers was 7 in 1990.
also another, if we're gonna go down the history route tonight, Devin Booker became the first Sun to score 40 or more points against the Cleveland Cavaliers since the late great Paul Westphal in 1978. So there's a fun fact for you that you'll never
Should we continue
use
to
again.
go down this rabbit hole of fun facts?
Sure, why
Let's
not?
do it because I got like 3 more here.
Let's go.
These come from the Sun. So Devin this is the second instance in franchise history of a Suns player with back-to-back games of 40 or more points and 5 or more assists, both times done by Book. All right, you want some for KD now?
Sure.
Okay, congratulations to KD for passing Oscar Robertson for 7th most 30-plus point games in NBA history. And also congrats to KD on passing Shaq on the NBA all-time scoring list. He is now in 8th, and he trails Wilt Chamberlain right now.
That
like
happened a long time
week
ago.
Well, then, it's the pin tweet. That's my bad.
I was like,
Where was
welcome
I?
to the club, Lindsay.
Hey,
you were
I must
sick.
have missed that
You
You
were
were
sick.
dying.
Oh, I was
Yeah,
sick.
you were.
Yeah.
That's why. I didn't know why they had that
You're
pin
on your
still.
you're on your
Why
deathbed.
do they have that pin?
Because you got to celebrate greatness when it happens.
There was
Lindsay.
one more about KD. Somewhere I saw on Twitter, somebody was saying that he had, like, how many 30-point games he's had as a Sun, and he's only played, like, 88 games with them so far or something.
It's pretty wild.
And it's pretty insane how many he's had.
Yeah.
You keep bringing up
I was
Shane.
sick. I missed that one.
You
Well,
keep bringing
there
up
you go,
Shane
KD.
Young.
There's your flowers for that one.
You keep bringing up Shane Young. I got another one from Shane Young. So I tweeted as our tweet to tease the show. Let Book cook. It's sex time. And Shane Young replied, PHNX after dark. So Shane, thank you.
Oh no,
Yeah.
those are supposed
Also-
to be for the 8 p.m. or 8:30 starts.
I actually
Espo.
have one more.
Okay, what you got?
Did you know that Kevin Durant passed Shaq for the most all-time points in NBA history?
I did, but did you know he passed Shaq?
On March 20th.
Yeah,
Well, I missed it,
Like-
so it was worth bringing up one more
2
time.
weeks ago.
Because I wasn't here.
I was like, oh shit, did we tweet the oh yeah, 2 weeks ago. we tweeted.
My bad. I didn't realize it was a pinned tweet. My bad. I guess we would have had a graphic made for that one. That was
We
kind of a
did.
big one, right?
Yeah.
Well, whatever.
So, a little
Shout
bit
out to Kevin and Devin, regardless, for all the great things they have done so far this season. Shall we do our PHNX factor of the game?
Sure.
I think it'll be
That's Manute.
What?
Bol Bol.
I said Manute.
You did say Manute.
That's impressive for multiple reasons.
Bol Bol finished with 15 points, 2 steals,
Damn,
1
he
assist,
looks
6 rebounds, 3 of 4 from deep. What?
He just looks. He scares me.
Why? He's a sweetheart.
He is a sweetheart. He is. He's
Bol's a
just.
sweetheart.
He's a. I mean, listen, man. Like what was it, they called Victor Wembanyama the Slender Man, or he dressed as Slender Man for Halloween. He could easily pull that off too. Like they're both tall, lanky guys, and he continues to impress. He's not gonna put up 30 points, even though he almost did one time this year. But he's been consistent. I would say Bol Bol. You can make an argument that Bol Bol has been the most consistent Suns player this year.
You have just okay. I said that about Grayson. Okay, I said that about Grayson Allen, and Katie Stans gave me a colonoscopy. So good luck with that one.
Yeah,
So.
you think I'm going to go back on Twitter and care what they say?
No, I'm just
Like-
saying it. I agree. There's
When we
Kevin
talk
Durant's been
consistency, we're not
consistent.
talking about best.
no.
You know what I mean?
And Katie's been consistent
Yes,
this
he
year. He's been
has.
great. But yeah, looking at guys that have helped and maybe you didn't expect to help in that way. I think Bol Bol, I think Grayson are 2 guys that have been impressively consistent with the opportunities that they are given.
And I
you know?
also listen, comprehension is key here. I said you can make an argument. I didn't say he was.
Yes.
So listen, I think Bol Bol has been fantastic this year. He has surpassed our expectations by a mile. He's had his best season in his career this year, and I don't think it's a coincidence that he's playing alongside KD and this is happening, because I do think that has had such an impact on him. And I think if the Suns approach this the right way and they cultivate this kind of, I don't know, this kind of culture around him to enable him to be who he is and continue to blossom, you could be looking at a Bol Bol that's an elite player in 2 years.
I think
Bol
elite
Bol-
bench guy for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. If
Sixth
you
man of the
don't-
year? Hell
if you
yeah.
don't want to buy into that he's like one of the most consistent players, you could absolutely buy into he's the most improved as far as how down bad everybody was on Bol Bol and like across the league.
The
You
fact
know what
that
I
the
mean?
fact that he's not being talked about most improved player, that's a shame.
Yeah.
He should be in that
I
conversation.
think he should be in that conversation because especially this calendar year, we've seen so much from Bol Bol, and he has been super consistent. And Buddha the Schizo pointed out that Bol Bol outscored the entire Cavs bench by himself tonight. They ended up with 13 points. Their bench did.
I said this on the watch along, but shout out to Buddha. He sent me is he's apparently a musician. Sent me a little bit of a rapper there. He sent me his music video. It was actually pretty damn good.
Nice.
I don't believe
Give
it's
me
us
some
yet.
love.
Yeah, show it to us.
I'll show you after the show.
Yeah, why are you?
I don't want him to sue us for playing his music on the
No, not
program.
on the
Could
show.
you imagine
I mean-
getting sued by a diehard?
I'd like all my super chat money back.
I mean, Buddha, if you're in the chat, you should let us know if we could play your song. Like, why not?
You need it in writing,
Yeah.
just in case.
Look, I'm
Just in
selfish.
case.
Just write us a PHNX rap. Let's and then we can star in the video. I'll even wear the Vogel ones in the video. It'd be great.
I heard Espo's going to write a diss track towards Plus Minus.
Oh, it's coming. I'm gonna drop that this summer.
The one last thing about Bol Bol is when he passed up that open three that he had early on in the game, I saw everybody tweeting that like the crowd was just like collectively so sad about that.
He
But
got
at
it
least
back.
he made up for it.
His
He
dunk
made up
was
for
nice,
it.
too.
It was. Guess what, guys?
What?
We're gonna go ahead and do one more PHNX factor for tonight's game.
Oh,
What?
oh,
Hey, Royce O'Neale, our second PHNX factor of this game.
Why,
Royce
Lindsay?
O'Neale was
Why?
inserted into the starting lineup in Grayson Allen's absence, and he finished with 17 points, 2 steals, 2 assists, and 6 rebounds, and 5 of 7 from deep.
Who called it?
You did.
Who called
He
it?
did.
I called
You
it.
called it.
Our 2 3-point shooters really showed up big tonight.
Let's go, man.
Royce O'Neale and Bol Bol.
I love that though, that Royce has struggled like we talked about, but you insert him into that position that Grayson usually isn't. He gets those same kind of looks that Grayson got, and he converted them very much in the same way that Grayson did. And that's important for this team because, as we've seen, injuries can happen. But now you have guys that you can rely on, in particular in that spot, to step up and play. So
He was due. He was due. I said he was due. I felt like he was due. He got his moment to jump in here and shoot the three. He started off the game strong and he never looked back. Royce is a good player.
Mm-hmm.
It's just he struggled in the really the last month. It feels like he's been struggling from the three. Maybe it is one of those things where if he just feels more comfortable in the starting lineup. He's not going to start when Grayson comes back.
No.
And I know people are going to be like, well, why shouldn't he? Well, because Frank Vogel won't let him. That's why.
Well, and because Grayson's been it's not like
Yeah. At
this
Grayson's
point,
been middling.
It's just
Yeah.
too late to tinker, too.
Yeah, that's
and
it.
too much is on the line
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
I have a rant. Do you want me to do
A
it
rant?
now or save it for after?
Let's save it for
Okay.
after. Yeah, we'll do it here in just a little bit. We got a couple things from the chat, and also want to remind you guys that before it gets too hot, make sure you get outside and go on an
Which is like next
Arizona
weekend.
adventure with Arizona
right
Lottery. It's their new unique ticket and promotion called Arizona Adventure, and there are 3 ways to play and win big. First and foremost, listen, if you're not an outside person, you could just stop and you can get lottery tickets featuring 3 iconic landscapes. These are super cool scratchers. They feature Picacho Peak, Monument Valley, and Camelback Mountain, and they have prizes up to $50,000. Now, if you do want to get outside, you can check in at geolocated adventures at 10 destinations across the state from Flagstaff to Yuma. All you got to do is go to azadventure.com for the details and directions on how to check in at destination coordinates on the website. And when you check in, you get entered into drawings for cash and Arizona travel prizes just for going out and hiking. So if you're an outdoors person, this is definitely right up your alley. Or you can enter tickets online for a chance to win $1 million in cash and Arizona travel prizes. The Arizona Lottery is not just about playing games and winning prizes. It is also about giving back to the state and its community. So visit azadventure.com for more information on how you can take an adventure for a chance to win $1 million in cash and Arizona travel prizes.
Did you know, side note, that Arizona's state parks, like the Grand Canyon and stuff, if you're a veteran, you get a lifetime pass.
Do you?
Yeah.
Nice.
I did not
cool.
know that.
That's super
Yeah.
dope.
Nice.
That's
Well,
pretty cool. I got one in my wallet.
You gonna be
Nice.
going a lot now?
I probably not. But
Okay,
yeah.
just wondering. You know what though? There is one place that you didn't mention, Lindsay, that I actually think is one of the best places to go on an adventure.
Does it have a
in
number
Arizona.
in it?
No, it's 4 Peaks.
Yeah, it does have a number in it.
Well, yeah, but I'm not. I'm talking about the mountains. No, I'm not. I'm talking about the brewery. Go out to downtown Tempe, not downtown, Tempe, and check it out at the A Street Pub. I love Four Peaks.
I think I befuddled you. I'm
you
sorry.
did.
You got him all kinds of
Would you like me to?
now.
Would you like me to? I didn't hear what you said, and I just kept going, and then I realized, oh, he said number, and I had nothing. But you know what? A place that does have more than nothing is Four Peaks. I love going there. They have some of the best food. I love their chicken tendies. They got great pizza, but they're known for beer because they're a brewery, and they've got a new beer with our friends at Bad Birdie, the Bad Birdie Juicy Golden Ale, a collab between Four Peaks and Bad Birdie. It's super drinkable, which is good when you're a beer, and the perfect companion to the tea box in your fridge or when you're venturing around Arizona. So try that. The Wow Wheat's great. The Kilt Lefter, the Sun Brew. I mean, basically everything I've ever tried there is spectacular when it comes to beer. So visit fourpeaks.com/locator to find all your favorite beers and events. Check out at Four Peaks Brew or at Four Peaks Pub to keep up with the latest at Arizona's hometown brewery. Must be 21 or older to drink Four Peaks, and please enjoy responsibly.
All right, guys. Gerald said he'll be on here shortly,
Lies.
but we're not allowed to bring Gerald on until we get those likes up.
150.
Let's get to 150
likes.
150.
There's 700
likes.
people in the chat. Let's go.
Easy money.
Or we hold Gerald hostage.
And he loves it when we do that.
He likes to be tied up.
Oh my God.
All right, maybe we just let him on. Leave
Gerald in the box.
We do have a super chat from Travis. Thank you, Travis. They said, is this ... serotonin I feel? We're so back again. Ishbia better be sure there isn't a recording device near him after this one. He gonna talk big smack.
I guarantee you, Matt Ishbia walked into that locker room tonight and probably repeated everything he said the other day.
No.
Listen, I appreciate the guy's passion. Like he's a competitive guy.
He's probably not even in town.
I thought he was at the game.
You don't think he was in town for the
this
Cavs
game?
Yeah,
or for
you're
the
right. My
Cavs
bad. I'm
game?
sorry.
It's the
I forgot
mortgage.
it was the
It's the
Cavs.
mortgage battle.
I
Yeah.
forgot it was the Cavs and that was the team.
Yeah.
Now,
My bad.
not only is he number one in mortgage, he's number one in mortgage owners that own basketball teams too.
Oh,
2-0 against your shitty Rocket Mortgage Cavs.
Dagoon sent us one as well. They said, this farm is way too happy. Don't forget, we still kind of do stupid stuff. Listen, you are absolutely correct, Dagoon. We do stupid stuff quite often. However, I know last week I said I'm going to try and be more even kill throughout the rest of this season because it's just been a lot to go up and down so quickly. But I just want to lean into the fun. Two in a row is exciting.
You need to understand,
I just want to
Lindsay.
lean into it.
It's
I change my mind every day, and I'm
it's
sorry.
safe in the middle. It's safe in the middle. You can't get hurt. You can't get too excited. You're grooving.
Yeah, but I'm
like,
not having
and
fun in the middle.
But
the
you
biggest
can
thing is
enjoy
you
it.
have to be open to accept what is going to come your way. That's it. That's it. And it
Whatever
might
it
not
may
be
be.
great. It might not be great, and sometimes it will be awesome. But that's what this Suns team is. And if you feel like you're going to put them on a pedestal, don't do it yet. Wait
No,
until
I'm
they
not
get
that far.
wait
Don't
till they
put
get
anybody on a
wait till
pedestal.
they get to like the Western Conference Finals if that happens. Then you can like put them back on the mantle. But right now, we accept them for who they are. They're going to surprise us. They're going to impress us. They're going to disappoint us, and that's okay.
Look, they're good. They're good for a fun night right now. Don't put them on a pedestal. Don't expect the ring. They're just good for a fun night right now.
Gerald
And that's
cannot come
okay.
on fast enough.
Hey,
Yeah,
can-
get those likes up, people,
Gosh,
please.
Can we
please.
go back to? Can you search Dagoon's chats again though? But I saw something that I really am just thrown off by. I believe it says, "I dated a PR girl. Don't piss them off."
Puerto Rican.
Oh,
bro.
I thought he was talking about
Public relations.
I thought he was talking
like,
public
what did we
relations.
talk about
That's what I was
PR?
wondering.
No.
Thank you.
I read that-
makes a lot
I
more
read it earlier, and I was
sense.
like,
It
he
was
must be
like a
Puerto
while
Rican.
back.
I was
There
like,
you
what
go.
public relations person did we discuss?
I mean,
tonight?
there's some crazy ones out there. No, I'm
Goodness
just kidding.
gracious, that's hilarious. You guys, you got to get those likes up. We're still not there yet. We have a few more to go. But here's the thing. Like, I understand where you're coming from, Saul. And I agree that, like, honestly, being in like that middle ground is probably the best place to be. But I can't help but want to kind of celebrate and jump up and down when the Suns win, and especially when it's a game that was really important. And
Look,
those last 2 games were.
Enjoying the game is fine. Enjoying the win is fine. Just don't project it beyond that. It's like, yeah, this was fun. I enjoyed tonight. The last 2 games have been a lot of fun. I'm still hesitant to say they've turned the corner, that this is, they're on their way to being what they wanted, because you don't know what's right around that corner.
Yeah.
So
You know what is right around the corner?
Ooh, tell me.
Do it.
In the darkness, beyond the light, there shall only be one. Welcome,
Y'all did it. You got us to 150 likes, but that does
Live
not mean
from prison.
that you can stop there. Continue to hit that like button as we welcome in Gerald Bourguet.
Man, maybe he
PHNX
really was
Suns
a hostage
writer.
tonight.
Maybe.
Damn.
From the Footprint Center. Gerald, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
Gerald, they were holding the chat hostage, and I said, well, he does like to be tied up, so there you go.
Is that what you said?
Gerald's face.
His face was like, what?
Gerald's like, I'm not even there, and I can't get away from the two of you bringing up inappropriate, awkward things about me.
That look
About
was
you?
more
Him.
No.
That's what Gerald's saying.
Okay. I was like, wait, what?
That look was more, how did you find out?
Who told you?
Don't do Gerald like that, you two.
I'm not doing him like that.
Somebody put these two in timeout. Eric, we're going to have to mute their mics and keep it up. Gerald, I'm sorry, okay? I'm trying.
Gerald,
It's fine.
that's 2 in a row.
Yeah.
I mean, what the hell? Are we back?
I'm in the same spot I was a week ago and 2 weeks before that. Like, this team is fully capable of doing what we saw tonight and what we saw last game against the Pelicans, and they're fully capable of doing what they did against San Antonio, what they did against OKC without Shea. Like, I don't know what to make of this team, and I think there's no happy medium right now. But this is a good win. This is a win they needed to have, and it was against a Cavs team that was actually more full strength than we were expecting heading into the day. So that's good news. You know, like, they beat a playoff caliber team, a team that is going through their own things, trying to get healthy and get everybody on the same page as well. But that was from start to finish a pretty good game. There were some spots in the third quarter where they let up. Frank Vogel was a little disappointed. They weren't able to kind of go for the knockout punch in that third quarter and let them back in the game. But he said they kept their composure and were able to respond and keep that double-digit lead for most of the way.
101 points. It felt like defensively, their effort, their purpose was where it needed to be. And we can't say that for every game this year, obviously. But I felt like tonight they were connected a little bit more than usual, and they really focused on limiting Cleveland's 3-point shots. And that obviously resulted in the win, and obviously a low percentage. What did you see out there defensively, and what did Frank and the guys say about that?
Yeah, I think tonight was a really good effort, and I think there's just a basic truth that, like, this team matches up well with certain types of team compared to others. When you're up against a team that has, 1 or 2 bigs in the front court, the Suns have the shooting to kind of spread them out, and then on the other end, they're able to keep up, as opposed to a team like OKC that has a lot of guys that can attack off the dribble and do more versatile things. So I think part of that is what we saw tonight against Cleveland. Part of that's what we saw against the Pelicans as well. And I think they're fighting for that consistency. They are trying to get there. It just doesn't feel like it because of some of the matchups they've had recently. But I thought they did a nice job tonight, and hopefully this is more building blocks as we prepare for the upcoming postseason stretch. And I do think having Royce O'Neale out there, a little more size, a little more defensive communication, was a big part of that as well.
Gerald, Frank talked about how Devin's kind of moved back to his natural position of shooting guard primarily, that they put Bradley into that role of point guard. Over the last 2 games, have you seen this team operate offensively a little bit more like they did towards the tail end of last year and into the playoffs, where Book and KD can kind of do a little bit more of what they're known to do offensively?
Well, I think there's somewhat, yes. Like, I think Brad, over the last few weeks, Vogel has said that Bradley has shifted more to like a full-time point guard type of role. He's sacrificing a lot of shots. So I know a lot of people were wondering, like, why isn't Brad being aggressive? Why isn't he getting enough shots? It's because he is kind of sacrificing to initiate offense a little bit more to allow those two killers to do what they do best. And he's been doing a lot of the dirty work, which is what KD and Bradley Beal both, or KD and Book both praised him for after the game, you know, noting the offensive rebounds tonight, guarding Zion last game, little things like that he's doing on top of initiating offense. So I think that's part of it. I think KD has also been initiating offense a little bit more, and I think we're moving closer to the multiple ball handler attack that Frank Vogel was promising since last summer. Because early in the season, it was mostly point Book because Brad wasn't there and because KD had to go that stretch of games where he was the only one of the big three on the floor. Now I think we're moving closer to the balance that they wanted from the get-go. And I think there is a misconception about Book when it comes to him being in attack mode. He can be in attack mode with the ball. And so that's what makes him so deadly, is he can do it off the ball or on the ball. And so can all of these guys, really. But Book is the one that has the best playmaking of those three, I think. Brad is the one who gets into the paint the most and puts the most rim pressure and kind of sprays it back out to shooters. And KD is the one who draws the most gravity just because of the scorer that he is. So they each have their own unique thing that they bring to the table when they're the one initiating. And I think right now the Suns are still kind of working through that process of trying to find the right balance that keeps everyone in a rhythm, but also keeps defenses on their toes.
A lot of people in the chat were asking if there was any update on how he's feeling finger-wise, dealing with that injury he had, gotten a few games back. Do you have any updates at all about that?
No, we've gotten no indication that there's anything wrong with the finger. I think it's just what Frank has been saying, that he's been sacrificing shots to set other people up to allow Book and KD to attack and get easier looks there. I wouldn't read into it too much. It's not any, like, I think KD said best after the game, like, we want him to be even more aggressive and find more shots. But I didn't really think it was a case of him like actively turning down a bunch of shots tonight. I think the offense was just flowing. And if you look at the assist totals, they got to 32. They had 4 guys that were between 6 and 8 assists for the night. So it was a pretty good balance of offense there, even though the scoring was obviously, 72 points skewed to KD and Book.
I've been saying this whole season, like, if the big three give you 75 combined, then you're going to be in really good shape. And I don't care how it comes. And tonight they got you 77 with the five. What, Beal had 5 points?
7.
My bad. 79. My bad.
Nice.
If they do that consistently, they're going to be a very tough team to beat, because when those two guys play at a high level, and then you throw in the wild card to me, which is Bradley Beal, he's the one. And Gerald, you can talk about this. He's the one that can elevate them to a whole nother level if he's playing at the top of his powers, right? I think what I saw tonight, and I probably disagree with you a little bit, I thought there was multiple times when he had an opportunity to take a shot and he thought he was getting out of that good shot for a better shot, but that better shot wasn't really a better shot. So I want him to be still maintain that aggressiveness while also distributing and playing within the concept of the team and getting those other two guys involved. What do you think? I'm on track with that, or would you disagree?
No, I think so. I think, like, I don't think there were times where he like actively turned down a shot. I think it was, like you said, that case of overpassing when he could have taken a shot and tried to get a better shot, which is something this Suns team has been guilty of a lot, because it feels like they realize how late they are in the season and they're trying to play catch up to the number of games that these guys have missed, that they haven't been able to work through a lot of this stuff. Because I think we're still, 35 games of the big three, 34, something like that. Like, we're still at a very low total there. And I think as much as these guys have very complementary skill sets, it does take some time to work out through that kind of stuff, especially, when your coach is coming to you or when the team is coming to you and saying, hey, we need you to do a little bit more of this. Now your mindset as a scorer goes to, okay, I have to do this. And you kind of lose sight of what makes you that scorer in the first place. We've seen Book do it this season a lot when he's gone from, okay, I'm shooting too much, now I got to pass too much. We've seen Beal do it recently, I think. But, it's tough because he is that one guy that really likes to attack the outer layer of the defense and get into the weeds compared to those other two. So he does bring that to the table, but I would like to see him find that right balance between staying aggressive as a scorer and a shooter and all these other things and still helping orchestrate the offense.
Can you put on your doctor lab coat and help me out here, Gerald?
You're not going to ask me for a physical, are you?
No. As a vibes doctor, how has it felt? How did it feel tonight in that room with these guys after the fact? Because sometimes even after they won, we could get some weird vibes. How did it feel tonight?
No, it felt better tonight. It felt like, okay, not like a sigh of relief, but like, all right, we took another step forward tonight. We got to keep taking steps forward and not 2 steps back. It didn't feel like, the last time I brought this up was the Hawks and Sixers wins here at home when they were playing shorthanded teams and they were kind of sloppy wins, but they were wins that they needed. It didn't feel like that tonight. It felt more positive. And I think, they're probably aware that they jumped from 8th to 6th in the standings with this win and the Pelicans loss. That always helps alleviate some pressure, but they're aware that every game from here on out is playoffs before the playoffs. So hopefully they're able to keep the same mindset and continue to play as free as we've seen them play over these last 2 games. And part of that is Book just keeping the scoring run that he's on going, 40 tonight, 50 some the other night. Like he's been on a tear, and that's the Devin Booker the Phoenix Suns need.
Is this the best two game stretch of the season in your opinion? Like good basketball from this team?
I'd have to go back and check because I feel like they had a pretty good stretch during that like December through All-Star break stretch there. But this is pretty good in terms of the importance of these wins. It's definitely up there. I think I would elevate it more if it hadn't been for the roller coaster ride that we went on over the 2 weeks before this.
Yeah. You know what's crazy though? For as volatile as that felt, they're 7-3 in their last 10.
Yeah.
Like that seems bizarre to me. It doesn't feel like they're 7-3 in their
It's because those 3 were so awful.
Yeah, and they're bizarre in a lot of cases.
I have last question for you, Gerald. Speaking of vibes, a lot of people in the chat are asking us to talk about the crowd and what's going on with the crowd at the Footprint Center. Was it a little bit dead in there today?
A little bit, but I think it's one of those situations where you go up on a team early, and so every basket that they make, it's like, oh no, are they going to go on a run? And there weren't like a ton of exciting highlight reel type of plays tonight either. And I do think it's different from that 2021 crowd and even the crowd the year after that. It's just, I don't know how to explain it. We talked about this at length before. It just feels like a slightly different set of people in the arena now.
Well, I will say this. I would expect that to change in the playoffs this year because we are not the favorite. We are not the favorite to win the championship. We're not the favorite to get to the Western Conference Finals. So we're going to have a lot of doubters. And if this team can surpass those expectations early on, I think that's inherently going to build that momentum and that hype, and people are going to naturally be excited. So it's kind of a blessing in disguise, to be honest with you, because if they can find themselves even if they found a way to get to that 4 spot, which is not out of the realm of possibility, you could find yourself with a crowd that's just itching to be crazy and get excited again. These fans know what it's like. It's just, man, I'll tell you what, it does feel like the record, the percentages, the statistics tell you like this is a top-notch basketball team. But the feel is the thing that's throwing people off, the ups and the downs and the roller coaster that we talked about. And I think that's what's causing hesitancy for people to really throw their entire energy into this team. I think that'll change once we get to the playoffs.
You know what else would help fix that? More Bol Bol.
Oh, I thought you were going to say OGs.
More Bol Bol. That's all. Gerald, anything else that you want to share with us from the coach or the players?
No, not really. But if you haven't read my newsletter, make sure to go check that out. It's all over my Twitter. Went through 5 different stats that are pretty instructive in terms of how the Suns are going to be playing on a given basis, whether they get to that threshold. And I think most of them applied again tonight. So make sure to go check that out.
Yeah, you were spot on. Assists, 3 points attempted, and beating or tying your opponent in 3-point shooting all checked the box tonight in a win. So you were spot on, my friend.
What do you know? Thanks, Gerald, for hanging out with us. We appreciate you. We'll see you later.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Perfect timing.
Yeah,
Wow.
seriously.
He was being attacked by something at the end there.
Don't forget to give him a follow on social at
Seriously,
Gerald
you need to hang up the
Bourguet.
phone. It's time for
And listen, if you were at the Suns game tonight, or if you plan to go to a Suns game anytime soon, this is the last homestand of the season, FYI, regular season anyway. Illegal Pete's wants to hook you up with their sound check deal. So right now, Illegal Pete's is here to bring you a win with their legendary sound check deal. All you got to do is bring in your ticket stub from any ticketed event, and you get a draft beer or house margarita for a penny. That's right. They want to hook you up with a draft beer or house margarita for just one single penny. Illegal Pete's wants to celebrate with you, whether it's a pregame or a postgame party. They got you covered on all your game day needs. You must purchase an adult entree to redeem Illegal Pete's sound check deal, but Illegal Pete's is your go-to spot for burritos, buddies, and beer. Make sure you check them out, and I highly recommend you always get double corn, no matter what it is. The corn is so good, you guys. Double corn on everything.
Why not?
It's got the juice.
Why not just order all corn if you're that much into it?
Because that's just weird.
Well,
You don't like
I'm
just
not-
a bowl of corn?
I mean,
How about a
I
Bol Bol of
guess,
corn?
but like that's just weird to go
Is it?
into.
You know,
Yes.
listen, Lindsay. You don't have to be judged.
Yeah, why do you care
If
what
you-
other
yeah,
people think?
you
If
never-
you want
you don't-
corn, you
you
get
don't care
corn.
what we think. Why would you care what anybody else
I
thinks?
mean, fair.
You
but,
corn
like,
you it. Illegal pizza, all right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, there you
but
go.
Yeah,
You're
look.
welcome.
Hey,
I don't know. Is that not weird?
No. If you like it, why is it weird? Who
Yeah,
cares?
listen.
But I like it mixed into all the things.
Listen, I like to melt my ice cream in the microwave. I don't give a fuck what anybody
all the
says.
way
in it.
down, or
Well,
just
like,
a little.
I
Salt?
like to get it nice and juicy. Yeah,
I need to know.
creamy, whatever you
How-
want to say.
Wait, like,
Melty.
does it get warm? Like, do you
So-
go that
no,
far?
no, no,
Okay,
no.
so
No,
it's still
I put it in
cold.
It's
for
not
about-
like a soup.
No, I put it
It's
like
soup.
20 seconds.
Soften it.
Get
Okay.
nice and soft.
Yeah, I got
Yeah.
you. I got you.
I mean, listen. Maybe next time I'll go. I'll just order corn.
Please do.
Maybe I will.
Let your corn freak flag fly, all
I
right?
don't know why I said nice and soft. It's my hands.
Whatever you're into. You want to tie up that ice cream?
This has been
That's your
such a
choice.
weird
This is
show.
what happens when we have a 7 o'clock tip and Saul's been gone for a week.
You do you, all right? Just not your ice
I don't know
cream.
what to do with my hands.
We were over at Gila River.
Yes,
Resort
we
City.
were.
We were out at
Wild horse
Wild
pass.
Horse Pass. Thank you. I'm so thrown off by your ice cream. Your ice
Wild
cream.
Horse Pass.
Is this
Gila
actually? Let me
River
ask. Is
Resort
this,
and Casinos.
is this the sign
Stop it,
for
both of
ice cream?
you. Cut it out
They
now.
did-
Mute
well, we
the
were-
mics,
okay, but
Eric.
No, to be fair,
Mute
this-
the mics.
to-
Change the camera
Hold
to
on.
to be
just
fair,
me.
the sign for soft in sign language is soft.
Okay.
So I wasn't far
yeah,
off.
Anyway, so we were out there today. Did you see the 6 foot tall dice
Guys.
that they have
Yes.
at the entrance?
Yes.
I want to convince them to let us get some cars, create a giant craps table, and run the cars into the dice to push it down. You think we can make that happen?
No.
No, but you know what I think I think we can make happen? One hell of an event this weekend.
Yes.
We're going to be out there at the Collection by Mike Bibby doing our live shows, and I'm excited because for me, there's nothing better than spending some time at Gila River Resorts and Casinos. They've got the best gaming floor in the state. It's unbelievable. A huge BetMGM sportsbook. The finest dining and the best fast food dining that you're going to find anywhere. Oh, and they got a concert venue that they got some big acts, including Ice Cube, going
Yeah.
to be out there
NE
this
40
weekend.
on Saturday night.
It's going to be a lot of fun. So with unprecedented level of entertainment and excitement that you won't find anywhere else in the desert, they've set the bar so damn high you can't cross it. It's that high. The state-of-the-art gaming floor has it all with over 800 slot machines, 15 blackjack tables, and live table games, not to mention Arizona's largest casino sportsbook. Head to Gila River Resorts and Casinos and let them show you what Next Level is all about. You do you at Gila River Resorts and Casinos. Visit play@gila.com for more details.
Big Daddy Kane tomorrow night. Let's go.
All right, we've got a couple super chats from Baran.
Varun.
Sent us 3. The first one didn't have anything written on it. The second one had a sticker, and this is how our system. It always writes us like an explanation of what the sticker is, right? And this is how they wrote it. Pair character turning around, waving his hand, saying, "Hey you," while lowering his glasses.
I don't think it's that. I think it's, hey, you.
Okay, well, I didn't want to do that.
Soft ice cream?
I didn't get that vibe from the sticker. I did not get that vibe from the sticker. I'm just saying. I can see the sticker in front of me. I know you guys can't, though. But then they also sent us another one, and they said Bol Bol definitely has been equivalent to drafting a first.
Yeah.
Listen, we love Bol Bol.
Yeah. How dare you give me a thumbs up on saying soft? What's wrong with you?
What do you mean?
A thumbs down, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, you said thumbs up.
Down?
I'll give you.
I said thumbs down, didn't
No,
I?
you said
No,
thumbs
you
up.
said
I'll give you a
thumbs
thumbs up
There
for
you
it.
go.
It's been fun.
Hit that thumbs up button, you guys, and we're going to round out today's show with Espo's rant.
Thank you. Okay.
Oh, you
I was
got a rant.
saving
I do
it
have
for
a
the-
rant.
for last,
Thank
the
you.
best for last.
Thank you. That is right.
Sure.
I have a bone to pick with statistics.
Oh,
all right.
boy.
My favorite thing to go after. Plus freaking minus. You know
Okay.
how stupid plus minus is?
Oh,
Tell
we're
me
gonna
how
do
stupid
this.
Who do you
is.
think led the Suns in plus minus
Dude,
tonight?
I
I'm
didn't know
going to-
this is where we were going to go.
I'm going to say David Roddy.
No.
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 He's
No.
your other favorite
No, not
guy.
even close.
You actually don't really love him.
Eric freaking Gordon was a plus 26. The dude was 1 for 3 in 24 minutes. He had 3 points, and he was a plus 26.
I mean,
it's stupid.
No, I mean he's a all-star. I mean he's fucking awesome.
Devin Booker was a plus 18. KD was a plus 11. Royce O'Neale was a plus 14. And Eric freaking Gordon was a plus 26. It's a stupid stat.
So on paper, Eric
him
Gordon
live
is
his life.
far better than KD.
Sign him to the max.
Love that stat. Plus minus is the most useless stat of all time.
Well, then
I
why
don't
do
even
they
know
keep
why
it
it exists.
still?
I don't know why they exist.
Why is it on the box score, right? We have
Yeah,
so
why
many
don't they
more
replace it with
metrics
something else?
that are more
It's so
accurate.
dumb.
Give me, if you want something, give me an interesting advanced metric that you want to put in the normal counting stats. But plus minus is not it.
No, it's so stupid.
Yeah. I mean, they
Thank
should
you for
definitely
coming
put
to my
something
TED
else
Talk.
on the
Our
box.
coach in college used to go off a plus minus, and I would just, oh my God, I would
Drives
just
you
want
crazy.
yeah. Because if you play 40 minutes and you lose the game by 2, then you're a -2 plus minus. Where Johnny Fuckstick comes off the bench, plays 5 minutes, and you go on a 10-0 run, he's a plus 10? Fuck out of here.
Fun fact. Eric Gordon's nickname.
Eric
All right.
Johnny Fuckstick Gordon.
Listen. I wasn't paying attention, and I'm glad I wasn't because I didn't even want to know. But we need to go back to Varen's super chat because I read it entirely wrong. Thank you, Buddha, for pointing that out. They said Bol
you.
Bol's development has been equivalent to drafting a first. That makes way more sense.
What'd you say?
I said def. I read it as like definitely. I read
Def.
it as an F. Why? I don't know. I just did.
Okay.
But I wanted to make
Hey,
sure that
you.
I was giving them justice for their super chat. That was my bad. But yeah, all right. I think we should probably leave before you guys say any more ridiculous shenanigans.
Before we get demonetized.
I mean, good lord, you guys!
What's
Like, what
wrong
are we doing with our lives?
What's wrong with what we said? We were having fun.
Nothing. I just like to play this role where
I know.
where I give you guys grief about all the
mother
things
hen
you
over
say.
here.
I mean, some of your stuff does go a little too far. Don't
Does
even
it?
lie. Yes. What do you
Yeah.
mean? Does
You're
it?
just being
Next, we're going to have leaked voicemails.
Do you see what I have to deal with? Okay, thank you guys for hanging out with us. We appreciate you. Glad we got to celebrate a Suns win tonight. We will not have a show for you guys tomorrow, but give the show a
outside
follow
shots
on-
though at 4:00 tomorrow.
Yes.
Afternoon time for you sleepyheads that don't want to wake up at 8:30. We
There
got
you go.
a slightly different time. It's the one and only afternoon show, an afternoon delight, if you will.
Hey.
What's that show?
Outside shots.
But give the show a follow on social at PHNX_Suns because we will have updates. The Suns, I believe, will have practice tomorrow, and they're doing a tour of their new kind of
Their new business and Mercury training
facility.
I'm
It'll be
I'm
interesting.
excited to see it. I'm surprised they'll let me back in their office building.
Well, it's new, so it's
Well,
not even like an old one now.
New owners too. So
Exactly. You're good. But a reminder, since this is the last time we're going to talk in real life until Friday, come hang out with us for the watch party out of Gila River Resorts and Casinos Wild Horse Pass. It's absolutely free. Just come and watch the game with us, drink some drinks, eat some food.
There's 2 NBA Jam machines, so I can kick your ass in NBA Jam.
Ooh,
yeah,
challenge.
You can RSVP and get way more information at gophnx.com. Just click on the events tab, but hang out with us this weekend. It'll be a good time.
Yep.
Honestly, I've really enjoyed all the watch parties we've had out at Wild Horse Pass. They've been really
Last
good.
time we had a watch party out there, we had about 75 people. So if you're going to come, you better come early and get your seats.
Yes. Okay, thank you all for hanging out with us once again. Give the show a follow on social at PHNX_Suns. You can follow me at Lindsay Smith AZ. You can follow Saul at Saul_Bookman. And you can follow Espo at Espo. Espo, take us home.
Imagine me as a pineapple. Hey, you. Ahoy, hoy.
It was a pear.
We all silly like the mayor.